This doesn't go right. I'm dead.
Hello, and welcome to the Oldfield Spring Musical, Working. Please take a moment to locate the exit nearest to you. There is no recording or photography permitted during the show. On that note, please silence all your cell phones and keep them away for the performance. Working is about 70 minutes long with no intermission. We promise you can survive that length of time without texting. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Stand by, lights 2 through 6, video 1 and 2, order in, and sound 10. House out, lights 2, order in, go. Lights 3, and video 1, go. Lights 4, and video 2, go. Lights 5, sound 10, order out, go. I hear America singing. I hear America singing, 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 the reason singing, the reason singing, the workers singing, the villagers singing, the firemen singing, each one singing, the teacher, the drummer, the mover, the house. I hear America singing, America singing. Somebody would you want to hear the story of my life? Living movie companies, maybe documentaries. Would you come and ask me, please? Pay me $1,000,000. Tell me what you like the stories if you pay me $1,000,000. What that's gonna do no more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like the song said, all live long day. Everybody gonna know that song. Ready for living a whole day long. All live long day. Hey, somebody, won't you turn your head? Take a look my way. What did I tell you? Getting old ain't nothing new. Start to get the feeling. Be my old pal one day. You know, rain or shine, we should. Be my old pal one day. And another cup of coffee, get the juices flowing. Another cup of coffee, get the juices flowing. Another cup of coffee, get the juices flowing. 1, 2, 3, get go! Just like the song said, all live long day. Everybody gonna know that song. Ready for living the whole day long. All live long. Just like the song said, now all live long day. Just like the song said, now all live long day. Just like the song said, now all live long day. Just like the song said, now all live long day. Everybody gonna know that song. Ready for living the whole day long. All live long day. put it down. Pick it up, put it down. Pick it up, put it down. Typically, in the morning, you have the shanty to start the car. You go in at 7 and you start walking up the ladder, climbing up the steel. Every 2 floors you can go. Then you disconnect the bottom of the mast and tie to the boom on top of the choking cable. Then you take up the other side and do it again. I started working structural steel when I was 18 years old. I've worked on towers probably 1,000 feet high. Most people are afraid of heights like that, so automatically every iron worker has an ego. You're doing something somebody else can't do, and you get to wear it too, though. When you're a kid, 18 years old, and you have the wrenches in like a holster, you're like a cowboy. I always knew I was going to be an iron worker. My older brothers were iron workers, my father was an iron worker, so it was a natural course of events. My father was very disappointed I didn't go to college. To get off this personal topic, we had a college play over the summer. One time I had a book in my back pocket and he was amazed. He says to me, "You read? That's what can get you sometimes. The non-recognition from other people. To say someone is just a laborer, that a woman is just a waitress, it bothers you sometimes. Some mornings, I look across the skyline for a building I worked on. Say that building over there. You see that building? I helped build it. And I know there's someone taking their corner office behind their $5,000 desk. And they're never going to think about me. But yeah, I think about them sometimes. Amanda, where's the P&L report? It's on your desk. Why isn't it in my hand? I'm a project manager. I get to work at 7:30 a.m. and I leave at 8 p.m. Sometimes you have a nice boss, and sometimes you have an evil boss. It's not behind me, is he? I wish these cubicles were like a little higher. I've been in all kinds of cubicles. I've been in the high-rise cubicles, I've been in the mid-rise cubicles. I'm really just lucky to be in any cubicle at all. I have friends that would kill for this job, for any job really.
I'm papering the wall of my cubicle with posters. I bring in fresh flowers, brought in my favorite ceramic lamp. This little collection of things I have on top of my computer, I call them computer gods. I guess I have more decorations than I thought, but, you know, in a cubicle, things like a glow-in-the-dark skeleton can go a long way.
I can see the programmer in the cubicle next to me through the reflection in the window. Sometimes I can see her as what she's doing. Quite often, she's emailing jokes to her sister. I also acquired a webcam. I set it up so it points behind me. I have a little window on my computer, which is the webcam picture. If anyone walks behind me, I can see them.
I weren't expecting I would get out of college with $1 million. I weren't expecting somebody would just deliver a Mercedes to my front door. It's been quite frustrating. This is the first time deliberations that I lost my parents.
Jobs aren't big enough for people. When you ask people who they are, they tell you about their job. They say, I'm a doctor, I'm a sportscaster, I'm a carpenter. Me? I say, I'm Amanda McKenny. At certain points in time, I do things for a living. My mentality is totally different than people 20 years ahead of me, the lifers. I have no real sense of loyalty to this job because they have a business to run and they'll lay me off for free. I don't think anyone my age thinks, I've got a job for life. What they think is, I'm going to get as much money as I can from this job, and I'm going to move, get a new job, and make more money. This job is the first of many. First job, I smell like a burger. Easy. Hey, you want a burger? I had the picture of the burger. Every day the same old thing. Hello, can you get me for a counter? And I ring that phone 3 times.
not so free. The sun at the end of the counter. When I see the manager writing down an order, when I see the manager making things, when I see the manager writing the stuff I whisper yes, give me some things, set me on the way you'll take. I know what I'm doing, and I'm fighting on my own. The limitation I had was unknown. Fresh air and exercise, sometimes a little extra crowded. Confidence each day, my world is great and to make sense. One of the living, and the wind in my hair. I know what's right, and the Lord's anywhere. Day, hope till I feel as I hope. I have been my father's in their home, he doesn't work anymore. I love the words of songs, I look for next door. And it's not putting in for money, and it's not putting in for dinner, and it's not so many we have to get away. I think we'll get in together, everybody is easy. Stay forward, steady. I think you can go away, I'm going to look at my end, and then get together. I keep the orders dated, I'm say sorry if I'm late. To make the dance for your play for me. Yeah, that would be so right here. Was around a break. What did you do Wednesday? The song is this, the stars go away. I had to close my favorite part. But they say, and then they say, keep the pace, and if I feel keep the pace, and I save a little every day. Far away, and I look back on you today. Thank God for deliverance.
I'm a guy who likes to work. Some people enjoy tennis. I enjoy work. I enjoy being a leader. I enjoy being the guy everybody looks to. I like the responsibility of having a team of people working for me. In our world of money management is still the sexiest job there is. Ask any girl on the East Bay Club. Money is hot. True story. They once did a study that found that just looking at a Maserati made girls produce twice as many hormones as normal. Oh yeah. And you might call me a shallow douchebag, a corporate tool, a robber baron. I'll take it as a compliment. Abso-freaking-lutely. That's what this country's about. The free market. Now it isn't perfect, but if you leave it alone, it'll sure as hell correct itself better than a regulator can. Sure. Some people will lose money, some people lose jobs, but some companies will go away. But that's just basic capitalism. Who developed America? Was it the regulators, the SEC? Or was it the Mellons, the Rockefellers? Now tell me what they did bad. Sure, Rockefeller exploited a few workers in the copper field. Maybe he shot some of them, fine. Not perfect, but who benefited? There was still Standard Oil, isn't there? Mellon's Bank is still around. Listen, how many charities are started by these people?
How many museums, theaters, and national parks are there for us to enjoy thanks to the robber barons? These were the giants who built our cities, who built our countries. Without losers, you cannot have winners. Hold on a second. I gotta take this. Hello? Yeah. Okay. Give me 5 minutes. Yeah. Okay. Listen, I'm gonna have to cut this short. I have to get on the phone before the markets close overseas. Everybody's gotta work long hours these days. Kid's gotta make it, he's gotta be willing to work long hours. And he's gotta know how to outsmart the regulators to make profit. It's easy. Christ. If you can't outsmart one little government staff, you shouldn't even come to work in the morning. You know, I should be their teacher. I've always wanted to do that. Work with the young people. That's what I'll do when I get tired of this. Pass on my knowledge, my experience, my values.
Good morning, Sarah. How are you today? Good morning, Kiki. I missed you. In your heart, you may have a dislike for a certain child, but you force yourself to say, Good morning, Chaya. How are you doing today? Oops, someone forgot to take their Ritalin. Good morning, my Umi Zoomies. Ugh. My name is Rose Hoffman. I teach the 3rd grade. At 9:15, we start with arithmetic. I have tables fun on the board. Multiplication. You don't say tables, you say tables fun. Everything has to be fun, fun, fun. I tell my kids, Miss Hoffman's here. Everybody works. Working is a blessing. In the old days, I had 18 to 20 students in my class. Today, I have 37 in my class. The children, they come in, they play on their phones, and they leave for computer lab, art therapy. Oh yes, I've seen great changes since I began teaching in 1967. January 6th, 1967. My students back then were very focused. They worked hard. My classroom was always a showcase. In those days we did it ourselves. With colorful pictures and charts on the wall. A snowman in winter, a pumpkin in fall, and all my supplies were in neat little piles on the ground. My children were always respectful. When the principal came, they would rise. If I had to leave for a minute or two, they always found something constructive to do, and everyone sat in their places according to size. But kids don't know how to behave anymore. Someone's Wi-Fi is bad and they tell you it's yours. We tell you to mute if you don't have the floor. Kids are fighting with family now. They want me to teach on a Zoom call like that, but nobody ever tells me how. Back then, we actually taught in person, not on a screen. I'm overlooking at all the distracted faces. I certainly never expected to be teaching in the opening credits of the Brady Bunch. Back then, we had focus, we had discipline. Of course, we did have the paddle. Oh yes, I am a big believer in corporal punishment. It builds respect and trust. I made a big thing about spelling, but they learned by the time I got through. They copied the words so they knew them by heart. 10 times for the dumb one, and twice for the smart. And gold stars were given to those who made sentences too. So why bother teaching them anything today? Nobody knows how to Zoom anyway. How can you talk when you don't even know how to unmute yourself now? The way I've been teaching for 40-some years is no longer effective. or so it appears. Well, damn it, it worked for me then, so what's wrong with it now? They want me to teach on a Zoom call like that, but nobody ever tells me how. In all my years of teaching, in my mind, one child sticks out. A girl, my favorite. She wasn't very bright, but she gave no trouble. I see her every once in a while. She gives no trouble today either. She has the same smile for everyone.
The first 2 months I started flying, I had already been to New York, London, and Paris, which is pretty huge when you're from Kankakee, Illinois. But after you start working for the airlines, it's actually not as good as we thought it was going to be. Sometimes, people just get nasty. I mean, they're harassed by security and then they get delivered to us. And their shiny personality only goes so far. We get scared sometimes too. I've never yet been so scared that I didn't want to get on the plane, but there have been times at takeoffs when there's been something funny. One time, I was working first class, and we had a load full of passengers, and this captain tells me, we're going to have to make an emergency landing in Chicago because we lost our plane out of the nose gear. When we land, the nose gear is going to collapse. So, he wants me to prepare the whole cabin for this landing, but not for another 2 hours. And not to tell the other flight attendants because we knew it would get all excited. So, I had to keep this in me for 2 hours. And I'm wondering, am I going to die today? And I'm serving drinks and food, and this guy gets mad at me because his omelet's too cold. I was gonna say, just you wait, buddy. You're not gonna have to worry about that friggin' omelet. When I told my parents I was going into the airlines, they got so excited. My mother especially thought it'd be great because I could have the ambition and nerve to go to the city on my own and try to accomplish something. Really? I just wanted to get out of Kankakee. You want to have a thrill, but no comparison. Not even with jet planes. Coming on that steel truck, you went out of the damn right expressway. The minute you climb in that truck, you forget about the life your kids just missed goodbye, and the adrenaline starts pumping. Break your number now, big buddy, put your ears on for me now. Big truck, I gotta have a big life. So come on, brother trucker, you gotta come back, mother. Keep seeing double, let's not close one eye. I got to roll, brother trucker, I then do it again. Roll, brother trucker, back on my wheels again. Roll, brother trucker, outward bound from South Bend. Roll, brother trucker, I'm back on my wheels again. Taking a left and a right, goddamn dip those headlights. 4 hours sleep in the last few nights, but I'm gonna be alright. I got to roll, brother trucker. I say where and you say when. Roll, brother trucker. I'm back on my wheels again. Roll, brother trucker. Back it all up and do it again. Roll, brother trucker. Back on my wheels again. You're gone for a week, 2 weeks. Picking up a load of one floor clips together. You sit in that truck, the only companionship is your own thoughts, and you don't get stuck thinking about your problems at home, so you turn up the radio if you can play it loud enough over the engine. Yeah, we truckers fans have something tremendous. You think about the girl behind the voice and build something in your mind so you begin to believe it. Good old New Jersey, next day please. I'm in a hurry. Won't you let me go in peace? I'm independent. I ain't got no teeth to
dope. Cause the AOL, the CIO, they still don't know the road. And the only man telling me where to go is a man who owns alone. And he says, roll, 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 brother trucker, back it up and do it again. Roll, 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 brother trucker, back on my wheels again. Roll, 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 brother trucker, I say when, you say when. Roll, 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 brother trucker, back on my wheels again. Roll, back on my wheels again. Roll, 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 brother trucker, back it all up and do it again. Roll, 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 brother trucker, back on the wheels again. Back on my wheels again. Coming home your wife can be sort of a letdown. She has to raise the kids, find the bill collectors. She can't even count on her husband to come home from graduation or communion. When you do get home, you're so tired you'd rather be sleeping than going to your wedding on Saturday night. I pass within 2 blocks of my house, and I go home. And you just keep on going. So you call your wife and tell you won't be back. Hey honey, hello? Effing phone company.
For the tech support, this is Kiki. How may I help you? Yeah, my Wi-Fi's not working. I'm like 5 blocks. I'm sorry you're having trouble, ma'am. May I have the number you're calling? 219-765-5910. I'm sorry, ma'am, but all circuits in your area are busy.
What is wrong with you?
I'm sorry, ma'am. Why don't you wait 5 minutes to put your call? Again. You'd think they'd be grateful to get a live person instead of a computer. Sometimes you want to talk to them if they sound upset. For me, it's tempting to say, gee, what's the matter? But you can't say no more than, I'm sorry you're having trouble. If you have contact with a customer, that's 1 mark against you. 3 marks and you're fired. One woman said to me, I feel so lonely. Will you talk to me? I said, I just can't. But you can. I'm a communications person and I can't communicate.
So I always thought of a receptionist as a loser as a front desk taking phone messages. Now I'm one. So of course I had to change my opinion. She had to be special, right? Because I'm so special. I was trying next week had this awesome party. I'd be having a fairly intelligent conversation with someone when they asked me what I did. But I'd say, I'm a receptionist, and make an excuse and walk away. So now I make up other names what I do. Communications control, entry management.
It's strange.
Get tired of
When
talking.
you get tired of talking, my mouth gets tired of talking 5 minutes for everything. You can't think about it. My mouth gets dry every single second, and then everyone's besides people, everyone's still around people thousands of miles away, but not there to talk to you.
I never listen to non-phone conversations.
Do I listen to my phone conversations?
So let me tell you,
Some people really do. Especially when it's late at night and then they're on their phone and it sounds so cute, and then you just get around in the night away, and it's just so fun. It makes the night go faster.
Sometimes make the day go faster. I'm drunk. Laundry lawn to repeat for people. I pretend I'm all alone and it's real quiet. I call it the land of no phone.
I never answer the phone at home. Hello? Oh, hi. No thanks, sorry. My husband gets the paper at the office and I read it online. No, I don't have an office. I don't work. I work, of course. I don't have a job. Anyways, thank you. It's funny. On my Mother's Day, they would call me a housewife. It's not like I sit around watching soap operas all day. I have a lot of work to do. You just want something more interesting to talk about at a dinner party. You know, something that matters. What I do only matters to 3 people.
am is just a housewife. Nothing special, nothing great. What I do is kind of boring. If you'd rather, it can wait. All I am is someone's mother. All I am is someone's wife. All of which seems unimportant. All it is just my life. Do the laundry, wash the dishes, take the dog out, clean our house, shop for groceries, look for specials, cut it some song, Mickey Mouse, drop the kids off, pick the shirts up, try to lose weight, try again, keep the jokes good, pick their things up, lose your patience, count to 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All I am is just a housewife, nothing great. What I do is out of fashion, what I feel is out of date. All I am is someone's mother, right away, not too great. What I do is unfulfilling, so the TV talk shows help me every night. I don't mean to complain at all, but making you feel like you're 2 feet tall and you're just a wife. Just a house on the sea with pots and pans and the Pepsi cans of a person I love. You're always and we go to work, but you're just a jerk if you say you won't. People say that they think it's fine, but the choice is mine, but you know they don't. What I do, what I choose to do, maybe talk to you, it's not to me. Is it time to think me now, or is it time to care? 'Cause I totally see that I mean, did you ever think, really stop and think, what a job it was, doing all the things that I have done. Someone's mother, nothing special. What I do is any shaggy. Take the kids here, take the kids there. I don't mean to complain at all. Busy, every day. All I am is like my mother. All I am is just a housewife. You can't! Sorry. You can't just run behind people and scream like that. Here you go. Bye, Dad. Have a good day. You have to create excitement for yourself, you know? Where is he? Where is he? I'm a good one today, alright? Mine too. Yeah, that's the biggest part of the dog's day. When the UPS guy comes. So, no one's looking, kind of just kick him down the street. Even if he just gets up and follows you, try to get him back when this couple houses back. Yeah, that's the big subject conversation with us. Dogs. And women. If see a nice looking babe, it kind of brightens your day, you know? You have a code we put in the system, we put a Q, that stands for Q. If see a nice little honey laying in her backyard, she'll have a 2-piece swimsuit on, and she'll have her top strap down up there. If you go up there and scare her good enough, she'll jump up. It gives you something to do. It makes your day great. You can't! I like to think of myself as an upper-class working girl. The press calls me a socialite, which is just another name for a well-dressed fundraiser. To me, fundraising is like candy. You get to talk to fascinating people and promote the causes that you love. What could be more delicious? I started in the 80s when I gave a party in Washington, D.C. for Nicaraguan refugee children. It wasn't for the Contras, although that would have been fun too. But
Fundraising is hard work. It's hard to separate people from their money. However, there is a finesse to approaching a potential donor. I never bring up money when I first meet someone. I mean, it's not a secret. They know why I'm there. But just for fun, I like to see how long it can go without asking for a little gift. Call me a tease. The other day, I was in New York City riding around in a limousine, and there was a hotel strike, and I thought to myself, now this is what it must be like to be a bag lady. Well, you know, you can't just go around picking up every single homeless person you know and taking them home with you. But if you can help and say something entertaining, you can bring a light to their eyes. Maybe that's why they call me a socialite.
I work at a luggage factory. We make suitcases. The tank I work at is 6 foot deep, 8 foot square, and 40 seconds. We have to take the wet felt out of the filter, put the blanket on to draw out excess moisture. Wait 2, 3 seconds, take the blanket off. You have to take the wet piece and balance on your shoulder, reach over, get the hose, and spray the inside of this copper screen. Turn around, walk to the hot dry guy behind you, take the hot piece, and set it on the floor. Push this button, inspect the piece you just took off, stack it, count it, 40 seconds. In the summertime, the temperature at our workstation ranges from 100 to 150 degrees. I've taken thermometers and checked it out. I have pain in the joints of my fingers and especially on my shoulder from balancing this wet piece. The hose will sometimes leak and spray back at you. The hydraulic presses leak and you're just slipping on hold. You have the possibility of being burnt every time the hot dry guy hits that wet felt. You're just engulfed in a cloud of steam every 30 seconds. The tanks run 24 hours a day. I work 8 straight hours with 2 10-minute breaks and a 20-minute break for lunch. I find it difficult to eat my lunch without enough time. 3 seconds. Granddad was a sailor, flew in on the water. My father was a farmer, and I his only daughter. I took up with a no-good mill-working man from Massachusetts. Died from too much whiskey and leaves me these 3 pieces. Little birthday heart, never most often there's a goddamn awful take me through the morning. Put me in my coffee break so I can put my in my machine for the rest of the morning, for the rest of the afternoon, and the rest of my life. They can't keep another tape. They say it's too monotonous. I think women are just as monotony good as men do, because their minds are used to doing one thing at a time. Where a woman can do 2 things at once. A woman can listen to a baby cry and do something else. It's the same way on the tapes. It's automatically what you're doing in your mind is doing something else. My mind begins to wander to my knees back on the floor, and I can see my father smiling at me, swinging on his arm. And I can hear my granddad's stories on the storms out on the Lake Erie, vessels and cargoes, fortunes and sailors' lives. My life has been wasted, and I have been a fool. So let this manufacturer use my body.
body for a tour. I got home in the evenings, staring at my hands, concerned by my sorrow, and a young girl longs to stay at the birds. If they I work this little, just as long as I am able, and never meet the man whose name is on the label. It's me and my machine for the rest of the morning, for the rest of the afternoon, and the rest of my life.
You wish you didn't have to work at the tanks, but when it's on you, you know how to do. That's what you do.
An organizer is someone who brings in members. You try to build an organization that will give people the power to make the changes. I put together a fairly solid organization of rural people in Pike County to try to stop Bethlehem Steel from strip mining. I had to tell people again and again that they had the stuff to do the job, that it was possible to win. But see, most people in their guts don't really believe it. They don't believe we could stop Bethlehem Steel. But see, all people in Pike County really wanted was a park, just a place for their kids. And Bethlehem said, go to hell, we're not giving you a damn thing. So, I gathered 20, 30 people together who I all saw as good leaders, and I said, let's go get that park. And they said, we can't. And I said, yes, we can. So, we got enough people together, and we wrote letters and we protested until we finally ended up on TV. Bethlehem caved. A couple months later, all people from Pike County drove up to watch the bulldozers grading down the land to make that park. You see, most people in their guts, most people think there's not a damn thing we can do. I think we have it inside us to change things. I mean, all human recorded history is about, 5,000 years old? How many people in that amount of time have made an overwhelming difference? 20, 30? You see, the problem with history is that it's written by college professors about great men. So that's not what history is. History is a hell of a lot of little people. Men and women, just like you and me, getting together and deciding they want a better life. If I could have been what I could have been, I could have been something.
I wanted to be a writer, a Major League Baseball player. I wanted to farm.
What I could be had been left to me. I could have been something.
Then I got married.
When the kids came along,
And my dad texted it.
A tower of strength, a center of power. At $10 an hour.
There's always a stumbling block. I was gonna work for a few years, buy me a car. And what? Well, I met the husbands. They kind of changed my plans. You never know what you would have did.
What I could have done, I could have done big things. I could have done big things. Scared of feeling embarrassed like I can't do. Texas springs that I'm stuck with, and you don't like the show. But deep down inside, every bounce I know. The top of the tier. The top of the tier.
It's a pretty good day laying stone. You instant what you're doing, and you usually play the clock the other way. You're not looking for quit, and you wonder, you haven't got enough done, and it's almost quit. There's not a house in this country I haven't built that I don't look at every time I go by. And if there's one stone crooked, I still notice it. The people who live here might not notice it, but I notice it. Stone's my business. Stone's my life.
He built a house with his hands. 30 years go by, it stands. It stands where nothing stood, a house of stone. The mason speaks real good. He does his workday flights. Clinton shines a big surprise. And then it's one more stone to get just right. It's always one more stone before night. Every house he builds, every stone he lays, not just making money, counting up the days.
I daydream all the time about stone. Someday, we'll build these stone cabins down on the Green River. We'll build stone cabinets in the kitchen. Everything's stone. A stone front door. Maybe that's what we pretend. All my dreams seem like they got a piece of rock all mixed up in them.
He builds a house with his hands. 100 years go by, it stands. It tells you who he was, life goes fast. But the work that he does, it's made to last. The work that he does.
There's nothing on this earth that's gonna last forever. But with stone, you're dead for once.
It's made to
Good evening, my lords. What's exciting at the bar can offer? It would be very boring if I had to say, would you like a cocktail? Over and over. So, I come out to drink for my own enjoyment. I'd say, what's exciting at the bar can offer? Or something. Maybe if they have a cocktail, I'll give them philosophy. Or, if they have coffee, I'll give them political science. I have an opinion on every single subject there is. My bosses don't like it, so I have to speak sotto voce. But sometimes if I get heated, I just don't give a damn. I speak like an Italian speaks. I have to be a waitress. How else will the world come to me?
Everyone has hunger, everyone wants to eat, and I serve them. I give service, I can't be servile. There is a difference. I get intoxicated with giving service. It becomes theatrical, and I feel like Monterey. It intoxicates me. I'm on stage. So I don't care. Not with me. But they will betray. They say they call me out. Not with me. I will have my hands out when I place a glass. I was always stand there as the best of his class. Never tell a toss, just like Jackson. Do it again, it's here, and it's all it's an art to be a final truth. That's the tonight I say, I take this and watch how I take it and take it and obviously stylish and small. That's what makes it art. When there was dead, I didn't know now that I chase. Now I don't. They're in my tray, always in commercials and gigs. Now I went. When I get my voice out, you must hear me fall. When I let voice out, you won't turn it off. If you had to call, get a bottle and get it right. You can't hear your trail. It's all about you. It's an art to be a word tonight. I scratch your hands. Like tonight, this big heart, this last boy, this becomes all on the last boy. And this, her cuss boy didn't really have the heart to hold. Even that was art. Text! Ha! Texts are working for people like captains in Garland. The family is 16. And the actress just tossed me this point. And how I feel like I'm talking. Now I'm losing hope. I fix the hot song. On you go. It's your friend, don't set it down. What's the purpose? On you go. To the yellow conscience of mountains beside. Never have the oceans, my eyes out in light. Every bit I tend to find myself crying. There's no words I'm trying or so satisfying. I tell everyone I'm a waitress, and I'm proud. When people look at me and say, you know, you're terrific. How come you're just a waitress? You know what I say to them? I say, why? Don't you think you deserve to be served by me? It's an art. This art. This. Take care of this. I swear, no one else has my lips. I say you're going hard. Every time I come by, yes. And I'm back for my dog. But I'm not just doing just on the wine. I'm waiting. After 16 years on this job, I went on a trip to Hawaii for 2 weeks. I went with my lover. My oldest daughter said, Mom, act your age. I said, honey, if I were to act my age, I wouldn't be walking right now. Not after 16 years on this job.
We had a very good day today. We went down to the senior center, just a mile away. There's a moon to stay together on Tuesdays. You should have seen him dance. They were playing Spanish music. He's a half blessed smile. Some days I can't remember who I am. Like he was so sad. Through it all, I take his clothes, I change his clothes. Where are his children? Heaven knows. It doesn't pay much, but I get through. Because I do the work that no one else will do. Having a good day today. We went down to the nearby park where she likes to play. She's only 5, she can do it all. And today, it's just a day for a ride. You should have seen her glide, and I was terrified. I spent the afternoon just running by her side. The sun went down and I took her home. The girls were late, I took her in each night. And I said, what have you done? Nina, what have you done? What have you done? Till she's asleep. She says I love you, and I love her too. While I do all the work her mother doesn't do. I have a family of my own. I have daughters back at home. I save whatever I can spend. But sometimes I close my eyes and imagine I am there. Where we there? Where we there? Hasta la madrugada duérmete. We had a very good day today. We went down to the senior center, just a mile away. One day my dreams will all come true. For now I do what no one wants to do. For now I do what no one wants to do.
You know what I always wanted to do? I wanted to play the piano. That's what I really wanted.
And I write songs and things from my life growing up in the South with my grandma and my mama. Now I got my own beautiful daughter, and I got plans for her. So every morning I wake up and I go scrub rooms up at the Marriott. And at night I come into his office and scrub again. We done scrubbing. My grandma, my daughter, she can do domestic work. I ain't to be there for that particular one. Mama was just like her, mama before her, just like her, mother and face. They was all dressed up, yes, the best of the come. They stood in a hotel, making mistakes of me all day long. They never figured out a day. Those were the days when I was on the playground. And they keep me in the and they was pretty red men with our faces and blood. From where they go without everything they said. Somebody who knows after so many years. Lord, I want you to get over it. Oh no, we can forget another girl. What do you care? Just wanna see through. All day long, my tears what the things, the things you think I'm sorry. Always talking about you and your money. All things getting so it's nothing too much. I got a bottle left and on the shoulder and breaking like nothing to do. Ain't gonna hide everything, I don't know, running fucking like my mother. It's my life, don't give up. I won't go, I'm gonna make it a better day. Oh, I'm gonna be your fingers on my knees. I should know that I'm great. No more, and our faces. It's gonna walk in on us. Let they stand. You'll be the person this time I'll be another thing you can see. What will be something over
My name is Tiff Warner. I ran this mutual fund for the students in my school. My father runs his own investment firm. I guess that's where I learned. He runs a hedge fund, you know. Those are the guys who attend college and finding their investors. We studied ethics at school, so I'm sure we'll have a problem. I'll be going to business school, Kellogg, naturally. But what I'd really like to be is a professional golfer. Realistically, I'll probably be an entrepreneur. And then I'll start a family, of course. My quote-unquote dream husband has brown hair, blue eyes, and is going to be naturally handsome. He's going to have a lot of personality, too, because when we're 30 and moving up the ladder, he's going to have a lot more lungs. At first, he'll probably be working, but then he'll stay home. And he'll be a good dad. I want to have 2 or 3 kids, and possibly live in a colonial house. Possibly one that leads towards the Mediterranean style, and maybe it can even get back and right on the golf course, so me and my husband can play golf whenever we want. Oh, my husband knows what to golf.
My name's Charlie. I'll be 20 in 3 weeks. So I got recommended for a job in a newsroom on a Chicago paper. So I went around the paper to talk to the editor. And I told him how much I wanted to be a journalist. He liked me. I had a tie on. Coming to work was a kind of missionary kind of thing.
I was just running around getting walnuts and raisins and giving away at everybody. See, at this stage of the game, I was in a very spiritualistic mood. I was enjoying my job because I was answering phone calls most of the time. People would call and complain, have a problem, and I told them this is a capitalist newspaper. And as long as it's a capitalist newspaper, it's not going to serve you, because its purpose is to make money for its owner. Then I'm told them to either come in and take over the paper or call the editor. A lot of people responded really well to these suggestions. But the editor, he calls me into his office and he's like, blah, 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 blah. I wanted to slap his face. Now, he's a really nice person, I like him a lot. I don't know if it's going to be pleasure from the slap, but my fantasy offspring in the paper was winding up and popping in. I've been thinking for months, what will I do when I get fired? I had to do something to show them, hey, I'm better than you freaks. I'm getting fired because I'm different. I had to think fast, so I turned, looked at the editor, and I said, I hope you can live with the conditions you're created. And then I just turned, walked out, and started to cry. And the editor, he hurries after me and says, wait a minute, I'm not creating these conditions, you are. And I said, no, I'm not the one who has the power, you're the one who has the power. Now I've got myself an unemployment. They were nice to me the first few times. Then this woman told me to get a number. I wanted to tell her, shut up. Why did I wait outside your apartment, knock you over the head, and steal your money? But that's bitterness. I don't like being bitter. I'm a pacifist.
Think about his work. Even, let's say, Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel. This beautiful work of art. But what if he actually created the Sistine Chapel 1,000 times a year? Don't you think that would dull even Michelangelo's mind?
See, it's not just the work. Somebody built pyramids.
The pyramids, the Sears Towers, these things don't just happen. I don't care how little you did, you drive down the road and say, I worked on this road.
You go by a bridge and you say, I built that bridge.
If a carpenter builds a cabin for a bunch of poets, those poets owe that carpenter a little plaque. Just 3 or 4 lines on the wall.
In the living room of our minds, this place that we relax in was built by someone who worked with their hands.
Picasso can point to a painting. A writer can point to a book.
What can I point to?
Everybody has something to point to.
You know what I would like? I would like to see a building. Say the Sears Tower. I would like to see on one side of it a foot wide strip from top to bottom with all the names of every person who ever works in or on that building. All the names! So when a guy walks past with his son, he can say, we are building.
I was the one who gave them the sign.
I was the one who dreamt the plans. Every detail in every line. See that building. I want to create opportunities. I was the guy who worked up above, looking those bricks are mine. Every detail in every line. See that building. See that building. 45,000. I scratched mine. See that building. I want the staff to work as a car. I clean the floors and I clean them good. People go down the building. See that building. I work at a desk. I do the goods. I handle the mail. Night on the data comes my I see that window. I buy the letter. Turn up the top. See that window. Turn up the light. 1, 2, 3, stop. That's where it works. Everyone should have something to point to, something to be proud of. When I didn't see what I've done, I did a good job. I was the one. Everyone should have something to point to, something to be falling around. See that building day after day after day after day. That's why I put myself on the line. That's why I sweat to earn my pay. See that building. That's why I put the food on my plate. That's where I live the piece of my life. Where I can take my kids and say, see that building.
So I wanted to say thank you to this amazing cast and crew. And to everybody, we're sorry about last night, but I'm telling you, this show was better, so I'm glad you got this live stream. So thank you so much for coming. Thank you, Mr. Jeremy. Thank you, Mr. Shelton. Ms. Hammond, I'm not sure if you're watching, but thank you for the amazing choreography. And wow, thank you to Working.